Welcome, Uplifting Life Partners. Let's ignite possibilities together. I'm so incredibly grateful you're here for our third Self Love Wednesday episode of Marriage Mastery Simplified, cultivating extraordinary connection. See, we're on a powerful journey of self discovery and growth. In episode one, we reconnected with your core self, your values, passions, your unique spark. Last week in episode two, we learned to protect that precious self by setting healthy boundaries, protecting your peace. Now, if you missed either one of those, I highly encourage you to go back and listen because today we're diving into a topic that directly impacts your ability to nurture that core self and uphold those boundaries. The power of self compassion. We're going to talk about nurturing your inner voice and transforming your relationships with yourself. So get ready to unlock a new level of inner peace and strength. Now let's talk about that inner critic. What's that voice saying? Now, uplifting partners, does this sound familiar? That little voice in your head that says, you're not good enough. You always mess up things. You should have done better. That, my uplifting life family, is your inner critic. It's that negative self-talk that feels familiar to almost everyone. There's very few of us that have inner monologue that's relentlessly positive. I remember the founder of a business I was in that I did for about 30 years. He made a statement that his dream is to make it through one day, one 24-hour period of being positive and having no negativity. Now, folks, that's a lofty vision. For most, they can't get through a full minute. Now, I used to share an exercise with people to recognize if mentally you live in a positive or a negative environment. Now, the exercise, if you want to find out your mental state, it'll take about 5 minutes, and all you have to do is listen to that inner voice. Now, for most people, this will only take about 30 seconds to a minute. Now, I know some of you got negative when I said that. Something to think about. Now, here's the way it works. You have to listen to the inner voice. If the thought is positive, positive gets 1 point. If the thought is negative, then of course, negative gets 1 point. It's a pretty simple exercise, right? Now, for most people, this is about how this conversation is about to go. Negative? Oh, that was negative. No, negative. I think that's positive. Oh, yes, that's positive. See, because for most, anything close to positive, we want to add to the positive side because we need some points on that side. That is why I said most people only need about 30 seconds to a minute because they'll come to a realization that most of their thoughts, it remains in a negative arena. And this voice can be harsh, cold, even angry. It might sound like someone that's critical from your past. Or it might just be your own unique brand of self-judgment. But that inner critic shows up in many, many forms. One, self-criticism, constantly evaluating and judging your actions, leading to feelings of inadequacy. Jumping to the worst possible outcome. If I make a mistake, my life is ruined. Perfectionism, setting impossibly high standards, which can lead to chronic stress and dissatisfaction. Personalization, blaming yourself for things that's beyond even your control. And the impact of that is profound. The constant self-criticism it leads to low self-esteem, self-doubt, anxiety, and even depression. It can hinder your personal growth, make you fear trying new things, even cause physical health issues from that chronic stress. But here's where it gets really important for our relationships. Your inner critic doesn't stay confined to your head. It spills over. It makes you defensive, hypersensitive to your partner's tone, everyone's tone pretty much, and it causes you to withdraw emotionally. It can even weaken your feelings for your partner, making you misinterpret their intentions or attack your shared love story. It literally puts up walls, sabotaging your intimacy and your connection. The good news, my uplifting life partners, is you have the power to change this narrative. The antidote to the inner critic is self-compassion. What is self-compassion? It's simply treating yourself with the same kindness, concern, and support you would show to a good friend. Think about it. You be all ears and have advice for a good friend, right? Learn how to extend that same level of kindness and patience to yourself. Now, Dr. Christian Neff, a leading researcher in self-compassion, they identified three core components. One, self-kindness. This is about being warm and understanding towards yourself when you suffer, fail, or feel inadequate. Rather than harshly judging yourself, it's about nurturing your inner voice with encouragement. Number two, common humanity. Recognizing that suffering, failure, and imperfection, they're all a part of the shared human experience. You're not alone in your struggles. Everyone experiences difficulties and making mistakes. This helps you feel connected, not isolated. And number three, mindfulness. Being present with your painful feelings without judgment. Acknowledge self-critical thoughts without letting them take over. And learn to observe your thoughts instead of judging them. So before we go any further, let's recognize who the voice is and who the voice is not. Now, if I tell you without using your mouth, I want you to say the color blue. Not only did you just say it without using your mouth, you heard yourself say it. Haven't you smelled food that wasn't there? You could taste it and you weren't eating it. There are times that taste is so strong it makes you run out of the house or into the kitchen and turn that imaginary taste into reality. Now, why am I sharing this here? It's to get you to recognize that if you can use all your human senses that you have without the physical use of your body, then who are you? Well, we definitely know you are not the voice. See, that voice is made up from life's programming, whether it's through your personal experience, parents, teachers, coaches, friends, TV, social media. In short, that inner voice is made up of all those different conversations, and therefore it can't be trusted in the sense that we follow whatever it says. Think about it. How many times has it misled you? Now, if you had a friend that misled you as much as that voice does, they wouldn't be your friend. But we can't get away from this particular friend. They tag along with us all day, every day, or day, as some people say. Now, before I forget, I'd recommend reading the book, The Untethered Soul by Michael A. Singer. He goes deeper into the voice. Powerful, powerful book. So now, the answer to living with and prospering forward in your life is to first recognize the voice, it's not you. Now, allow yourself some self-compassion. It's crucial. It directly counteracts that inner critic. Now, research shows that people that have self-compassion, they're less likely to experience anxiety and depression, more likely to have greater emotional resilience, motivation, and overall well-being. It's not self-pity or weaknesses. It's a strength that allows you to learn from mistakes and grow. Now, I want to share an experience with you. I was at a self-awareness seminar, and the gentleman on stage, he made the comment, he says, we're going to take a minute and listen to the inner voice. Do you know, my voice instantly said, shh, there's no voice in here. I instantly started laughing to myself, and I thought, now I know why I'm the way I am. My inner voice is a practical joker. Do you really think I didn't hear you say, there's no voice in here? So when the speaker resumed, he commented, some of you have probably heard, there is no voice. That's the voice we're talking about. So if you remember this point, the voice is a roommate that is with you all the time and never stop talking. They switch gears. They talk about random stuff. You know how you keep going on different subjects, like where'd that come from? Because that's what it does. I remember telling my voice, matter of fact, that night while we were attending the seminar, I don't mind you talking, but could you lower the volume so I can go to sleep? And I'll talk to you in the morning. Now, I shared that actual conversation the next day at the event, and the entire place, they just started cracking up. They were like, you crazy. But bottom line, what am I saying? Have fun with the voice. Don't take it so seriously. I didn't say ignore it, because there are times it can share valuable information. So let's talk about practical steps into nurturing that inner voice. Although I did kind of share in my examples how to deal and understand it. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by cultivating this powerful self-compassion and nurturing that inner voice by naming it and befriending it. That good old critic. Now, so when that critical voice gets on a roll, it won't stop. Pause and simply name it. Ah, there's that inner critic again. Now, what that does is that creates a space between you and the thought. So instead of fighting, respond it with curiosity. I hear you. What you trying to protect me from? This is why I didn't say ignore it. You got to get better at learning to engage and disengage as needed. So whenever you catch yourself in a conversation with that negative thoughts are allowing you not to flow in a positive direction, complete the compassionate voice exercise, where when the self-judgment arises, place a hand over your heart and ask, what would my most compassionate friend say right now? And then whisper those words to yourself. Treat yourself as you would do a best friend. Keep questioning that inner critic. Is this belief grounded in reality? How would you tell a friend to handle it? Reframe the thought. For example, change, I'm such an idiot too. I made a mistake, but that's okay. Everyone makes mistakes. Also, keep a journal. If you haven't been keeping one up to this point, start. You want to record your thoughts and your self-talk. This helps you to pinpoint the triggers and patterns and work through your feelings. Now, I'm sure you've heard the saying, a life worth living is a life worth recording. For some of you, you'll actually be creating your next book by recording, journaling, or creating your next life path by sharing your journey. We want to practice positive affirmations. Simple positive phrases can act as a mental switch. Create a list of affirmations like I'm capable, I am worthy, I'm valuable, and repeat them, especially when negative self-talk spirals. Here's a shameless plug. We got t-shirts and hoodies in our Simplified Uplifters apparel online store, and we created them for this reason, to remind and program ourselves all day with positive words. Matter of fact, people around you will comment on the phrases on your clothes, and that will also reinforce that positive message. Now, practice self-forgiveness also. If you make a mistake, be mindful of how you speak to yourself. Practice rewriting that narrative with more kind, forgiving, and non-judgmental self-talk. Realize that practicing forgiveness allows you to learn and grow. So remember, my uplifting life partners, this practice isn't just for you. Practicing self-compassion also helps you to be more compassionate with others, including your partner. When you quiet that inner critic, you reduce defensiveness and you actually create more space for genuine connection, which is vital for cultivating extraordinary connections in your marriage. So, all right, my uplifting life partners, today we've embraced the power of self-compassion, learning to nurture that inner voice and quiet the relentless inner critic. This is an act of self-love that impacts every facet of your life, especially your relationships. Remember, you're awesome and you deserve kindness, especially from yourself. Because if you're not kind to you, how can you really relay that message to others in terms of how to treat you? This self-compassion is a powerful decision that fuels your ability to connect deeply with others. Now, speaking of connection, make sure you don't miss our next Marriage Builder Sunday episode, where we'll continue to build on these insights for even deeper understanding and intimacy in your partnership. It's going to be transformative. Now, for more exclusive training, deeper dives, and to become a part of our amazing Uplifting Life Partners community, make sure you download the Simplified Uplifters app today. It's your one-stop shop for all of our resources, including books, video series, our clothing store with the positive quotes. You can find the link in the show notes or search Simplified You on the Google Play or the Apple Store. The letter U, which stands for Uplifters, not the word you, Simplified You, or visit our website, which is a duplicate of the app, at simplifieduplifters.net. Again, that's simplifieduplifters.net. Thank you for joining me on this transformative Self-Love Wednesday. And until we connect again, remember your power, my uplifting life partners. You are extraordinary.